Welcome to Unit Circle Survival Guide. In this video, we'll look at the exact value of the secant of -5 pi. And we'll use the S.A.R.C method, but an abbreviated version, because the angle that we're dealing with is called a quadrantal. And we'll see when we start to sketch this angle that its terminal side falls on an axis. And so that's why we call it a quadrantal. So we'll abbreviate S.A.R.C to just the first and the last step. So we'll call it the S and C. So here's our method outline. Our first step for S is sketch the angle's terminal side, and C is for calculate, so we'll find the trig ratio. And we're finding this for secant of -5 pi, and let's go ahead and jump in to sketch the angle. So we have -5 pi as our angle, and we should notice a couple of things. First, we should notice that it's negative, so we have clockwise rotation. And the second thing we should notice is that it's more than one rotation. So it's going to benefit us to find a coterminal angle to -5 pi. And that just means an angle that shares the same terminal side with -5 pi. It's just differing in the amount of rotation to get there, so it's easier to sketch that way. So to find a coterminal angle, all you need to do is add or subtract 2 pi. And in this case, we want to add 2 pi because it's going to make our angle closer to 0 or closer to a single rotation. Okay, so if we add 2 pi, we get -3 pi, which is still more than one rotation. You may be able to sketch from here, and that's great. If you want to go ahead and add another round of 2 pi to find another coterminal angle, we find that -pi is also coterminal to -5 pi. And that one's very easy to sketch, okay, because it's less than a full rotation. So rotating clockwise, we can go ahead and sketch. Here's 0. We know that pi is a half rotation, so in the clockwise direction, here's -pi. And so our angle's terminal side falls right here. And remember, this is the same terminal side as for our actual angle, -5 pi. We just rotate more if we are drawing an angle -5 pi. But here, all we need is the terminal side, and that's enough to find our coordinates that we should work with for our calculation. So centered on the origin here, we want to find the coordinates for this angle, and we know that the unit circle has a radius of 1. That's why we call it the unit circle. Okay, so to get from the center to this coordinate, it must be just moving left 1, so this point is -1, 0. And now we can go ahead and calculate. So we know secant is the reciprocal of cosine, and cosine is just the x coordinate on the unit circle. So the secant of an angle on the unit circle must just be 1 over the x. Okay, so here is our x coordinate right here. Not a very complex calculation. We have 1 divided by -1. And so we know that the secant of -5 pi must be -1. If you'd like to check out any more worked examples, I'll post a link to that in the video description. And I'll also post a link to a playlist that has help with a lot of unit circle basic skills if you're interested in that. Good luck with all your exact values, and thank you so much for watching.